wanted this forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era. I wake up early, feeling rich like I'm Kesha. I get to the paper, boy. Extra. Walk with me, you know that I got it. Come with me, let's take a trip.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Adrian, we got Conbar, we got Michael, Chef, the other Michael, Jay, Carter, Ian. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here in the chat below. Do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way in. Subscribe to the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. We are on the road to 18K. Cannot do it without you guys. But today, this morning, we got some sort of updates from Jonathan Gannon. Obviously, the big storyline is that we got a game tomorrow, Thursday Night Football for the Cardinals. And right now, we are all patiently waiting to see what happens with Will Hernandez. Is he finally going to be active, although he's trending in the right direction? And we're also waiting to see if Paris Johnson Jr. is going to be a go. We're also waiting to see if Will Johnson is going to be a go as well. Now, when you're looking at the injury report for the Seahawks front, there hasn't really been too much of a shock. I think there's still some injuries over there when it comes down to their secondary. Witherspoon probably being one of the biggest ones over there. Is he going to go? Is he not going to go? But once we get that information, I will be providing it to you guys. But also, as of right now, obviously, probably the final practice for the Cardinals before they get started here for the Thursday Night Football game. And like I said, we got a few different updates to go ahead and dive into. So let's go and first start off with this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not sure if you guys ended up seeing this, but I saw this report probably a little earlier today. And it came from NBC Sports. It says that Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, and other players are eligible for the 2026 Pro Football Hall of Fame nominees. So this is kind of cool, right? This is one of those things where, obviously, Larry Fitzgerald is the GOAT of the. I'm not sure of AZ Sports, but, obviously Arizona Cardinals, when it comes down to it, almost kind of feels like Larry Fitzgerald cannot do any wrong. So it's kind of cool to see, him finally being a nominee. Now, he has not officially retired yet. He hasn't made that statement out there that, hey, I'm retired, guys. Right? This is me going away. So he's not officially done that yet. But I think at some point, you're probably deemed as retired if you haven't been playing for a certain amount of years. So he's eligible, which is cool. I mean, 2026 is going to be obviously next year. So I think all of us thought that Larry Fitzgerald is most likely going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. So we might be seeing something, some news next year, which is really cool, man. We haven't had a player like Larry Fitzgerald in years, right? Since we drafted him back in the early 2000s. He's been with this organization for a bit. And the closest guy that I kind of feel like is, I guess, Larry Fitzgerald-esque in terms of like how long his career is and still doing it at a high level is Calais Campbell. I just wish that the time that we drafted Calais Campbell to now, that gap between where he was with those other teams, I wish the Cardinals just made a decision to bring him back. Like, I don't get it. Like, I still remember to the day that there was a video floating around before he ended up signing with his new team. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars, that he so badly wanted to sign back with the Cardinals that when he ended up receiving an offer, which is I believe it was the offer after his rookie year, he kept saying to his agent, call the Cardinals back, see if they can match it, and they just never did. So it's really unfortunate. I kind of wanted, like, I'm glad Calais is back. I'm really still doing it at a very high level still to the day. Yeah, it was the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yep. So it was from the Cardinals to the Jags, and then from the Jags. Where is this here? Sorry, 1 second. My computer's glitching out here. From the Jags to the Baltimore Ravens, and then 1 year with Atlanta, 1 year with Miami, and then back to the Cardinals. Now, he's going to retire a Cardinal, but, man, he's been doing it at a very high level for a very long time. Another player that I can think of is probably Patrick Peterson. I'm not sure. He might be Hall of Fame material, but obviously he's retiring as a Cardinal when he signed that 1 year deal. So, yeah, I mean, overall, this is really cool, exciting news, something that, we want to take away positivity because we don't have a lot of positivity things to talk about within this last week. So for what it's worth, Larry Fitzgerald is going to be one of the nominees next year for the Pro Football Hall of Fame nominees. Super excited to see how that ends up shaking out here for Larry Fitzgerald. And we did get some updates from Jonathan Gannon a little earlier today about people that are ruled out. I'm not sure if you guys ended up seeing this, but Zay Jones Zay Jones, wide receiver number 3 for the Cardinals, is ruled out for the game in TNF Thursday Night Football versus the Seattle Seahawks. So this could be big news. This could not be big news, just kind of really depending on who you're asking. I know I had multiple comments out there saying, well, the Cardinals don't value wide receivers, so the Cardinals can bring back, ABC, all these different type of, wide receivers, and it doesn't matter, right? It's a big story. It's a big story right now that the Arizona Cardinals wide receiving core is not a big impact on this offense right now. And we got some clips that we're going to be diving into what Kyler Murray ended up having to say during his press conference yesterday. And like I said, everything's kind of thrown out of whack because you have 4 days to prepare for your next game. And then obviously we got a game tomorrow. So we're going to be diving into what Kyler Murray had to say. And it's just, for some reason, I feel like fans are blowing this out of proportion. Yeah, well, we're going to be diving, and I want to get your guys' feel, but we'll talk about that a little later on. But yeah, I mean, it's no surprise here, man. This wide receiving core right now that the Cardinals have, this is one of the main reasons why people were getting frustrated with me, right? People were so, oh my God, Mike, every single time you're talking about this, you're talking about that. We don't need that, Mike. Like that. I remember all those comments that were coming at me, whether it was through the draft or whether it was through by videos or shorts or whatever content I was putting out. There was always 2, 3, or 4 comments from different people. It wasn't the same person saying it over and over again, but the fact that we don't need a wide receiver, Mike. So now, no, obviously we're not going to go after one unless there's a trade market, unless the Cardinals are actually going to be bouncing back and we're starting off a 3-1 start to the season. Right now, this is the wide receiving core that we have. Well, I don't think we're going to be moving off of the guys that we currently have right now. It's going to be Marv. It's going to be Michael Wilson. It's going to be Dortch. It's going to be Simi Fehoko. It's going to be Weaver on here, right? Those are the wide receiving core that we have right now. I said this on multiple comments, responded to people. This is the bed that the Cardinals have made for themselves this year, and now they have to lay in it. Now, yes, they can go after somebody, pick somebody off the streets like the San Francisco 49ers have been doing, completely trying to get new people. Every day it felt like there was new news out there. Oh, Andy Isabella was signed. Oh, he's been released. Oh, Kendrick Bourne is signed. Oh, they ended up bringing in Sky Moore, right? That's an organization that sees a very, very big hole within something, and they're making something happen. The Cardinals, for some reason, right now are not doing that. Now, I've had some people reach out to me about the running back core as well. I think somebody said, do you think the Cardinals should go after Breece Hall? I don't think the Cardinals are going to make any big move unless they are proven that they're going to be a contending team heading into the trade deadline. If I'm going to be real, I think the Cardinals are being very cautious at the way they're approaching this specific team. Now, we all know that the offensive woes are continuing to happen since last year and now bleeding into it now. I don't think the Cardinals are even thinking about making a big move unless this team proves that they can win with the pieces that we have. Now, do I like the philosophy? I don't, right? I don't, because it leaves a lot of gray area for excuses, right? Oh, we don't have enough wide receiving core. Well, no crap. We were talking about that all offseason, and then nobody wanted to listen. And then, the running back. Now, obviously, people wanted to bring Cam Scadaboo in. I was for it. I never said no, but I just didn't feel a big need. Now, some people projected that this might happen with James Conner. I don't think anybody could really predict injuries, but I get it. For those people that want a Cam Scadaboo, he does look really, really good in New York right now, so it would be good to have a really good backup plan. But as of right now, the Cardinals are fully 110% full in on Trey Benson, which I'm a big fan of Trey Benson. I really am. I'm excited to see what his opportunity is going to shake out. Now, it's probably not the best matchup to be going against a really good run stopping defense in the Seattle Seahawks in his very first week of starting. That's not ideal, but this is the NFL, right? No, there's no gimmies, right? So you're going to have to make do with your opportunity that you have. I think he actually ended up speaking to the media, and he says he's ready to go, right? He's ready to go ahead and put his best foot forward. After Benson, we got Amari DeMercado, and then we got Bam Knight as well. So are the Cardinals comfortable with that? Well, I mean, no moves have been made yet, so it seems like the Cardinals are definitely comfortable with the guys they currently have right now. Now, whether, like I said, is that a decision that I would have gone through? I mean, it's not my decision. It's Monty Ossenfort's decision at the end of the day. He has confidence. Let's see what Trey Benson can do. But right now, the name that we know of right now that is not going to be playing in TNF Thursday Night Football versus the Seattle Seahawks is none other than Zay Jones, which is your number 3 wide receiver. But like people in the chat have been telling me all off season long, oh, we don't value wide receivers, Mike. This This offense doesn't predicate on wide receivers. No, well, that's just because we're not getting them involved. That's because we're not throwing the damn ball to them. It's nothing to do with a scheme that's a heavy, a heavy run scheme. No, it's because we're not throwing the ball to them. We're not giving them opportunities to shine. That's one of the main reasons why you're seeing numbers like this. I kid you not. There's 3 wide receivers right now within the NFC West that are leading yard. Sorry. Let me repeat that. There's 3 wide receivers within the NFC West right now that are leading the wide receivers in the amount of yardage. I believe it's Puka Nacua at number 1. Number 2 is Jackson Smith and Jigba, and number 3 is Ricky Pearsall. How does that not get you irked up? Oh, but we don't value wide receivers like that. That's just a BS excuse. It's a BS excuse. The media knows it. Everybody knows it. Kyler knows it. That this offense needs to have some sort of explosive plays. Jonathan Gannon said it as well. We need to have an explosive plays. Like that. It's not like, oh, we're a run heavy offense and that's the way it is. No, you got to get these guys involved. And if these numbers don't scare you, and if these numbers that we're seeing out here from these number 1, 2, and 3 receiving leaders all in the NFC West doesn't piss you off, I don't know what will. I don't know what will motivate you guys to see what this front office kind of failed to do this offseason. Like that, they did not address any offensive pieces. It's very frustrating to see it. But at the end of the day, like I mentioned before, this is the bed they made. So now they got to go ahead and lie in it. So let's see exactly what happens in the world without Zay Jones. Is this a big loss? I mean, well, you're missing a veteran. You're missing a veteran that's savvy, that's going to be hopefully be able to get open in like zones. That's what you're missing when it comes down to Zay Jones. Now, he hasn't been very productive for the Cardinals when it comes down to stats. So you're going to give opportunities to maybe an Xavier Weaver, Greg Dortch, or maybe even a Simi Fehoko to come in here to make the plays at that number 3 position. Now, like I said, who's going to come up and step up? Well, as of right now, it's anybody's job. Take it. Here it goes, guys. Here it is. This is an opportunity for any of you 3 guys, Dortch, Weaver, Simi Fehoko. You want a job on this 53-man roster, a consistent spot? We got a glaring hole at the number 3 position. Go out there and take it. Go out there and take it. Get available, get open, and go out there and take it. This is it. So there's that, right? There's that. Zay Jones is ruled out of Thursday Night Football. He will not be available. We still don't know the status of Will Johnson. We still don't know the status of Paris Johnson Jr. as well. And then, of course, the media ended up asking about Will Hernandez. When is he going to be available? But, of course, Jonathan Gannon's got everything very, very close, tight-knit, keeping everything to his close to his chest, which makes sense. It's probably just some sort of advantage for him to not have the Seattle Seahawks know who's going to be go and who's not going to be a go, right? So I don't blame him, but at the end of the day, we got to get these guys healthy and come back on the field. Now, let's continue to have this conversation, ladies and gentlemen. Kyler Murray ended up speaking to the media yesterday. He usually speaks to the media on Wednesdays, but of course, because it's a smaller abbreviated week, he came out and spoke on Tuesday, and there was one specific clip that I want to go ahead and get your guys' opinion on, and it was originally asked because I believe Michael Wilson came out and says that it hurts his heart that he's not a big impact on this offense. Like, if you're hearing wide receivers come out and say this, and I'm not sure, this is not like, I don't think this was a attack on Kyler. This wasn't an attack on Drew Petzing. It's just there was a question that was asked to Michael Wilson, and he gave you the real answer, right? He says, it hurts me. It hurts me that I'm not a big impact on this offense, right? That's what Michael Wilson ended up having to say. So that's how the question starts, and then it comes into opportunities for these wide receivers. And then for some reason, there's a portion of the Cardinal fan base is twisting this to make it seem like, oh, Kyler Murray's calling out Drew Petzing. I don't think that's the case at all. But let's go ahead and dive right into it. And you tell me what you guys hear in this situation where Kyler Murray was asked about, obviously, the production of the wide receivers.
Wilson was just saying it hurts his soul that he hasn't been able to impact with more catches. Marvin looked pretty mentally beat up when he was talking the other day. Do you have to kind of get with your receivers and be like, we're going to get there, or is it pretty much on everybody to kind of like steady themselves when things aren't going great?
No, I talk to those dudes every day, literally on and off the field. So, I my thing is, I'm trying to build confidence each and every day and continue to give my guys opportunities when they're there. And I'm going to continue to do that. Obviously Drew makes the calls, and then we got to go out there and execute. But whenever the opportunity presents itself or the chances are there, I'm definitely going to give my guys opportunities.
So as you could tell, that little spot right there that he says, obviously Drew makes the calls, right? That little portion right there. Obviously Drew makes the sorry, I keep saying clause. That little portion of obviously Drew makes the calls portion of the Cardinal fan base is saying, oh, here you go. You see that? Kyler Murray is calling out Drew Petzing. What? No, he's not. He's not calling out Drew Petzing. What are you talking about? He's just saying that he's the one, he's the offensive play caller, right? Like, if given the opportunity, he's going to give these guys opportunities when open and when available. But like, I feel like there's been some sort of gray area that the Cardinals are, because the coaching that's been assessed is take what the defense gives you, which I'm going to be real. These are all good coaching tactics, right? These are all good things that most likely every quarterback has heard, right? Like take what the defense gives you, go where the ball needs to go. Don't make any explosive, erratic mistakes, right? These are the things that are being said and preached, right? And I think that once like Kyler Murray has heard this, he's taking it to heart. He's taking it in and he's being coached this way. But also on the other side of the coin, when you're not hearing that you should be taking more shots down the field and you're saying that you did a good game, we're going to continue to see the same things over and over again. Like, we need to get this coaching staff, because Kyler Murray's absorbing everything, right? He's absorbing everything this coaching staff has to say. And it's a good thing, right? Jonathan Gannon, Drew Petzing, all these guys that are involved in making this offense. One thing I will say is that Kyler Murray seems to respect this coaching staff a lot more than the last regime, when in primetime, you saw Kyler Murray yelling at Cliff Kingsbury in primetime, and everybody was like, oh my goodness, how crazy is that? I don't think you would see Kyler Murray caught dead doing that to Cliff Kingsbury. I think there's a level of respect here. I think Kyler Murray also knows that his career might be on the line this year, and he needs to produce numbers in order for him to stay the quarterback of the Arizona Cardinals. So I think that he's actually learning and grasping all these things that are being told to him. But on the other side of the coin, there's also that level of, hey, taking deep shots is okay, right? If it's there, you got to go after and, take that deep shot if needed. Because hearing Michael Wilson come out and say it hurts my soul, right, that I'm not involved in this offense, is not a direct shot at Petzing, is not a direct shot at Murray, but it's something to tell you that these wide receivers are thinking about it, right? And this is what I've been saying for weeks now. For people out there to say, oh, but these wide receivers aren't valued. All these wide receivers, they know what the responsibility is. It's a tight end type. It's a run-heavy offense. No, these guys are human beings. Keep in mind that these players that are playing wide receiver, they're playing for some sort of stability to stay in the NFL. They're playing for some sort of putting up numbers to get into their next contract year. Please keep in mind that as well. It's not just like, oh, we're doing the best for the offense, which at the end of the day, that is why the Cardinals ended up bringing these guys. They are very team-centric and team-heavy, but you cannot doubt that behind their minds, they're saying to themselves, okay, I need to prove myself. This might be a contract year coming up. I want to stay in the NFL. I want to prove that I can put up really, really good numbers out there. And unfortunately, all these wide receivers, with the exception of Marvin Harrison Jr., because he's just in his year 2, has not really proved that they can be on another team per the numbers. Although we know, Cardinal fans that watch these games, Michael Wilson can be a really, really good asset if given the opportunity. So, hearing Michael Wilson come out and say that, I don't think it's a shot at anybody, but he's cognizant of the fact that he needs to be a bigger impact, or he wants to be a bigger impact. He wants to be a guy that is producing to the level that helps this offense win games. Now, of course, the last 2 games, or the first 2 games, ended up happening. All this stuff that we're talking about now was thrown under the rug, although I was still talking about it, but I wasn't making that big of a deal at it. But that's thrown under the rug because you win. Everybody preaches that when you win. A lot of the bad things get swept under the rug until things are being fixed. Now, you lost by only scoring 15 points where your defense had you in opportunities to win this game. And now it almost kind of seems like it's putting it right here in your face. And you got to figure out a way to get these wide receivers involved. You have to. There's no other solution. Now, another big impact as to why this Arizona Cardinals offense isn't great or looks good is because the damn run game hasn't been good. The run game is terrible right now. Now, blame that on the offensive line, blame it on potentially whatever you want to blame it on. But the run game, what was supposed to be the bread and butter of this Arizona Cardinals offense, is not there. So you put that into we're a run-heavy offense. That's our identity, and we can't run the ball. And on top of that, we were never really good to throw the ball down the field in big chunk plays. And then you're left with a very stagnant, boring type of offense. And I feel like that's what we're dealing with right now. We're dealing with an offense with an identity crisis. We don't know exactly how to turn it on. We've been programmed Not us, but this team's been programmed that we're going to be running the ball very, very heavy. We don't want to, be erratic. We don't want to, do anything more than we have to because ABC. We don't want to throw an interception. You want to play safe. Give the ball where the defense is, giving it to you, right? I feel like we're so programmed this way, but our bread and butter, we're not able to do good on it. Where we're not good at running the ball. Now we have a new running back coming our way, a guy with fresher legs, a guy that already has 2 or 3 explosive plays this year already, 25 plus yards on the ground with Trey Benson. So let's see if that gives us a fresh look, right? That's what we're all hoping for. That's what we're hoping for, that Trey Benson coming in here, a younger guy that hopefully is going to be able to stay healthy in the 2025 season, is going to be able to give us that sort of edge in the run game. That's another big thing that a lot of feel like people aren't really talking about. We're supposed to be a run-centric, heavy identity. That's our identity type of thing, and we're just not good at it. We're not good at it. So the Cardinals need to find a way to get this run game going and not just let me run up the middle of the field in a stack box in the exact same area. You got 6, 7 people waiting for you there. No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the Arizona Cardinals to use stretches. I'm looking for the Arizona Cardinals to bootleg Kyler Murray out of the pocket, roll him out, see if you can go ahead and get Trey McBride on a kind of a drag route, or maybe even, Marvin Harrison Jr. Get these wide receivers the ball very, very quickly. It's crazy to me that the thought process of this OC is, okay, we're going to get this ball quickly. I'm not sure if you guys noticed, but there was a real quick play to a wide receiver versus the San Francisco 49ers game. Real quick play. It wasn't a screen play, but it was a real quick dump off. Let me toss it on over to one of my wide receivers. Guess what? That wasn't Marvin Harrison Jr. That was Greg Dortch that we ended up throwing the ball to. So I don't get it. I just don't understand it. And I'm not going to come out here and say I'm smarter than them, because obviously I'm not, right? I'm here for a reason. I talk about this team for a reason, as opposed to the guys that actually have a job within this organization. But there's so much problems with what's going on right now that for the people out there, the group that's saying, oh, fire Drew Petzing, that's it, that's going to resolve it. I don't think that's going to resolve it, because let's say we live in a world where Drew Petzing gets fired. Let's just say we live in a world. Let's say we go to Thursday Night Football, right, and we look horrendous. Offense can't get going, and they don't look good, right? Let's say we live in that world. Let's say the Cardinals, within weeks of this happening, the Cardinals finally decide to pull the trigger, okay? Then what's the plan there? What's the plan? What's the plan? You fire Drew Petzing. Are you going to elevate somebody within this organization? Are you trying to hire Mike McDaniels and looking to see if he gets fired to bring him in? Keep in mind, that's a new system. How long did it take the Arizona Cardinals to learn this system? How long did it take for them to learn this? And they don't even know how to have Kyler Murray have a connection with Marv. 3 years. Oh, sorry, 2 years. But this system's been in place for 3 years and we're still struggling? What? I don't get that. It's not going to resolve the issue of firing Petzing. Now, if they want to fire Petzing at the end of the year, I'm gung-ho for it. That's fine. You can't fire him midway through the season. What are you doing? Unless the Cardinals' plan is to keep Drew Petzing's playbook and just have a different play caller, right? That could be, I guess, something that can work. But, I mean, you're also bringing in somebody that has no experience, that's somebody that's very, very fresh, and somebody that probably is going to have a lot of room for error. Now, I know Drew Petzing hasn't really proven anything, so anything will be an upgrade to a lot of people's eyes. But what is that really going to prove? You're going to fire Drew Petzing to learn a new system to what? Learn in 2 or 3 more years and we're back in the same circle over again? No. Jonathan Gannon said this once and he say it again. We are in the business to make things work. Make it work. You got the guys, you got the weapons, you got the pieces, you got Kyler Murray, which is one of the most dynamic players if he can use his legs consistently and be able to stay healthy. Be able to accommodate to that. We lost arguably one of the best players, physical players, on the running back position in James Conner. This is a big, big turning point for us. Now, we're not going to see that turning point with the 4-day or 3-day turnaround time from week 3 to week 4. I don't expect it to happen there. But if we're continuing to see this issue, you got more than 7 days to figure something else out. This is a big game. This is a massive game for the Seahawks and a massive game for the Arizona Cardinals. Honestly, take away the Nike rivalry jerseys. Take away the Nike rivalry. I don't care. I don't care that we're going to look cool in the Nike. No, this game is big. It's massive. You have an opportunity to be 1-1 in the division, or you're going to 0-2 in the division. You're falling 2-2 on the season. This is a massive, implicative game that's going to either put you in a good standings, or have you continue to try to climb your way back to the NFC West, right? We all know right now the Rams probably look like the best team. The most put together team right now is going to be the Rams. If the 49ers can stay healthy, they've proven that they can win games with Mac Jones. They're 3-0 right now. They're the top of the division. The Seahawks never go away. They never go away. So we're the team that's out there floating around. What are we going to become, right? So this is a big, big game. Cardinals win this game, we advance to 3-1. Seahawks drop to 2-2. We're 1-1 in the division. We cannot fall to 0-2. We cannot fall to 2-2. The Cardinals need to build off of what they've been trying to build in week 1 and week 2 and kind of forget what happened in week 4. Now, there were some good things that happened in week 4 here. I'm sorry, not week 4, week 3. There were some good things that happened in week 3, and I mentioned it in my last stream. I loved what Kyler Murray did in the second half. I think he played phenomenally as a quarterback in the second half of that game. He stood in the pocket. He didn't have happy feet. He stepped up in the pocket. He was playing like a quarterback should be playing. Now, of course, there was some plays that were missed, of course. Now, that's a big question. Is he not seeing those guys, right? Maybe. But I love that I seen that progression of Kyler Murray because he can do it. He just got to be able to stay in the pocket. I get it. You don't want to get hit. I understand that. But unfortunately, that's kind of what happens if you're the quarterback in the NFL. You can't roll out and escape a second too early or 1 point something seconds too early because you kind of ruined the play, right? And when he uses his legs, he can be dynamic. So he can still probably pick it up by using his legs, but that's not going to work all the time. So it's a lot. Let me get to a couple comments here in the chat. I know you guys, there's a lot of you guys here in the chat right now. Appreciate you guys. I got about 84 of you guys here on the YouTube side. Do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button if you guys can do me that huge favor right now. And let's go and read some comments. That's my spiel. We most likely will be getting the final injury report later on today, and hopefully we get a little bit better understanding as to what is going to be happening with Paris, as well as Will Johnson. Yeah, because as of right now, what we know of is that Zay Jones has been ruled out of Thursday Night Footballs. That's what we know right now. So let's take it to the comments. We got Con Bar on the chat. They are definitely screwed if we go 0-2 in the division. Yeah, this division is tough. There's a lot of there's a lot of teams. There's a lot of There's a lot of national media heads that look to the Arizona Cardinals as a potential team to make a playoff push, right? There's a lot of them out there. Now, there's some of them out there that don't believe in the Cardinals, and that's fine too. But if you start off 0-2 in the division, and then we got that really tough gauntlet at the end of the season, it's going to make it even more harder to make a playoff push, right? So, not trying to put this all on your shoulders, Kyler, but you kind of need to. You kind of need to get us out of this mess. And that goes for everybody else. Marv, please stop dropping balls. Michael Wilson, if given the opportunity, we know he can be a good playmaker. Get Trey McBride open, quick, fast, and let's see what Trey Benson can do. Maybe he can be that spark to reignite this Arizona Cardinals run game because we need one. We need it. Kendrick in the chat says, I don't know. I think Petzing has been kind of... This is the first time I actually even heard anybody say this. I'm not sure if this is facetious. I'm not sure if you're being sarcastic, but I think Petzing called... Here's the thing, too. Like, people get confused with play calling and decision-making on the field. It's two different things, guys. It's two different things. And if you break it down like that, I think people can understand better. Play calling and calling plays is different than making decisions on the field. Who's making the decisions on the field? Kyler Murray is. He decides where the ball is going to go. Now, of course, in a specific play, he does have progressions. Who is he looking at first? Where does he think, depending on what defense he's seeing, what can potentially be open over the next thing, right? Of course, that all happens pre-snap. That's a quarterback thing. That's what his responsibility is. But play calling is different than actually making decisions on the play. The checkdowns, those things, the short plays, the little quick throws, those are the decisions by Kyler. I doubt Petzing saying, hey, bro, you better get this right here to this guy right here, in the flat. That's what you need to do right there. Good job. I doubt he's in his ear saying that. There's plays to be made up the field. Now, whether it's 1, 2, or 3 of those plays that are made, that is going to be the deciding factor as to are you a playoff team or are you not a playoff team? To be able to throw those balls in very tight windows, because that's what the best quarterbacks do. Did you see the throw from Jared Goff on 4th and short in Sunday Night Football, or was it Monday Night? Monday Night Football to Amon-Ra St. Brown when Dan Campbell had no business going for it on 4th down. But we know how Dan Campbell is. He's got the cojones, right? And not just that, he doesn't just do a real quick run where he can tell that everybody's stacking the box. No, he throw it deep to his wide receiver number 1 and Amon-Ra St. Brown. And not just that, Ricky Pearsall, what the living heck? It was another 4th down, Cardinals versus the San Francisco 49ers, and he goes ahead and pulls up the best Larry Fitzgerald I've seen in a very long time. Great catch by Ricky Pearsall, right? So it's one of those things, man. It's one of those things that this offense needs to get better as a whole. And if people could start understanding that, and if people could stop pointing the finger at one specific person, we can get to an understanding that this can potentially get fixed. It's just, I don't understand. There's no plan. Like, for the people out there that are saying fire Drew Petzing right now, well, what's the plan? Because your backup alternate is still employed by the by the Dolphins. People are like, well, sign McDaniels. He's still a coach. What the heck you want to do? Hey, you want to be an offensive coordinator for the Arizona Cardinals and save Kyler Murray's career? No, he's a head coach. What the? No. You can't fire Petzing right now. If they fire him at the end of the season and this continues to happen, then I'm 100% okay with it. If the Arizona Cardinals drop the next 4 or 5 games and they want to make a decision, then that's fine. Yeah, okay, fire him. That's okay. Whatever. It is what it is. But right now, you can't fire Petzing because guess what? What's the alternative? You promote somebody that's fresh, that's new, that keeps Petzing's playbook, but is a new play caller. Keep in mind, there's a difference between play calling and the plays that are happening on the field, right? The decisions that are being made on the field. Now, Petzing does have blame for some dumb, predictable play calls. That's the truth. 100%. Drew Petzing is not washed away from any blame. He's got blame. Some of the stupidest things I've seen in my life that Drew Petzing does, he does. And then not just that, how many times have he said that he's going to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball really early and he doesn't? It's very, very important to get your number 1 wide receiver involved in the game, get him in rhythm, and hopefully that stops all these drops that he's happening. He's in his head. He's in his head right now. He's in his head. How do you get him out? How do you get him out of his head and produce to the level that you want him to? Get him involved in the ball early. So, I don't know. It's a mess. It's a mess right now. But let me just give a real quick shout out to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. And we'll continue with the chat. I promise you guys. We'll continue with the chat. You guys are right now killing it right now with obviously all your guys' comments and stuff like that. So we'll give some love on over to the chat. And I'll read some chats here right now. Let me just give some love on over to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. The guys that are keeping the lights on. Appreciate you guys up and foremost. Appreciate you. The NFL season is here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for potentially 100 times a payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right, and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF, and you can get up to $100 deposit match on your first initial deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms. Everything will be in the description below. Appreciate Sleeper. Thank you so very much for sponsoring me. Appreciate it. And let's continue the conversation. We got a lot of people here in the chat. Let's go over with Christopher. What's up, Christopher? How will the Cardinals O-line manage against Seattle's D-line? They've been getting stupid pressure with just 4. That's a good question. And I'm glad you brought that up. I said this in my preview. This is arguably the best defense we're going to be going against, the Seattle Seahawks. And they can get pressure with just 4. They are a very stingy team to stop the run with just their usual base front 4 guys. That's going to be a big problem, right? If the Cardinals or the 49ers had to stack the box to stop our run with James Conner and Trey Benson and the other guys we got, guess what? The Seattle Seahawks don't have to do that. They don't have to depend on that. So this is a very, very good comment. I'm glad you actually brought it up because this defense that we're going to be going against on Thursday Night Football, it ain't going to be easy. They're arguably the best defense we're going to be playing in 2025. That front 4 is not something you should sleep on. It's tough. It's going to be a tough business to try to run against that team. But that's your identity, right? So you got to do it. You got to do it. Maybe we see a little bit more stretch plays. Maybe we have more pitch outs, right? So you're not just going straight up the gut. Maybe the Cardinals do something like that, right? Where they're trying to get the ball away from those four guys. Maybe the Cardinals do something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it's a very valid question there, Christopher. Very valid. DJ in the chat says the Cardinals O-line is ASS. They haven't been great in the run blocking. They haven't been great. And per PFF, they're actually graded out to be pretty darn good with pass protect. I don't get it either. Don't ask me. I don't understand it myself, especially because our identity is supposed to be run, the run. Maybe when Will Hernandez comes in. Maybe he can go ahead and give us some sort of bump. But we'll see. As of right now, it seems like he's turning in the right direction. But as of right now, we don't really have an update on it. Here we go. First super chat of the day. We got David in the chat. What's up, David? He says, I was kind of right. Injuries might ruin this team. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Yes, injuries ruin a lot of teams, 100%. And that's the thing. And you are right. If you called this before, you are right. The Cardinals have been very, very top heavy in very specific positions, 100%. The running back position right now, if Trey Benson can come out here and not skip a beat and actually run the ball very, very well, then I think we'll be fine. But it is contingent on what our identity is. Our identity is running the ball. If Trey Benson can't give us the 80, 90 yards that we were missing from last year's James Conner, then we might be in trouble. Because if you don't have a run game, then you don't have a pass game. If you don't have a pass game, you don't have a play action game. You don't have no game. So this is a big, big turning point as to what the Cardinals are going to look like here on Thursday. So, yeah, injuries have plagued the Cardinals already. Cornerback role or cornerback position specifically, we've been very, very bad in the cornerback. Sorry. We've been very, very injury prone in the cornerback position. But there's hope that Garrett Williams can come back a little later on in the season. I don't know when. Don't ask me. I don't think they know when. But there's hope and rumors out there that he might be back. But yeah. I mean, yeah, it's one of those things, man. It's very, very unfortunate. Is it Roro Lalo says, if Petting continues on the trend, he is what week do you see him leaving? Honestly, I think it's probably not even going to be till after the bye week. If this trend continues and the offense doesn't look good, then it's probably going to be until after the bye week. I don't see a world where, especially when you hear comments from Jonathan Gannon, what he said, he tripled down on it. I don't think we're living in a world where he's going to fire him after Thursday Night Football. And if he does, whoa, that's going to take a lot of cojones. And honestly, cool. Okay, if you want to do that, that's fine. Like I said, I'm no Drew Petzing stan. No, I can care less. To be honest, it does nothing for me. But I just don't think it's the right decision right now. What's it going to prove? Nothing. Then you're learning a new system when it already took us 3 years to learn this one and we don't look good in it. So like, what's going to be? What Petsy needs to do is realize the personnel we have. We no longer have James Conner. Continue to be a run-heavy offense, but also preach and coach that taking shots downfield or maybe in the intermediate game can be a real helpful thing for Kyler Murray and bump up his stats. We said this at the end of last game. It almost kind of feels like we are already accustomed to the type of game Kyler Murray is going to have. 200, 220, 215, 180, a touchdown, and maybe a rushing touchdown, maybe like 30, 40 yards on the ground. It feels like we're already programmed to know what Kyler Murray is going to give us. I think I stopped predicting Kyler Murray is going to have 340 yards or 300 yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns passing. I stopped predicting that because we just never see it. We never see it. I think we might have had 3 of those type of games that Kyler Murray had in his career. It hasn't been very, very consistent. Now, that's not all his fault, 100%, but that's just not his game. That's not what we're using. It was just not what it is. But Jonathan Gannon came out and he tripled down on it. He said, he's like, no, I have no issue with the play calling. And then he doubled down on Monday. He says, no, I saw the film. I think it's more execution. And then he doubled down on the Burns and Gambo show and he said, this is the best game I saw Drew Petzing call in 2025. What the freak? Like, what the heck? So he tripled down on that bad boy. Joel on the chat says, I never liked Jonathan Gannon. He's too laid back for this team that sucks this much. Fire both of them. I mean, we talked about this a little yesterday. How different, right? How different people's perception and perspective comes away when he makes a comment like he did, right? Jonathan Gannon was not in the hot seat going into week 1. He was not in the hot seat going into week 1 at all. But guess what? Now he is. Now he is. Cardinal fans, a lot of Cardinal fans now. Although I think I do remember my guy Joel saying he never liked Gannon to begin with, and that's fine. I think I remember you saying that. But now there's a lot of Cardinal fans that liked Gannon that don't want him to move past here if he doesn't make a big move like firing Drew Petzing. So that's crazy, right? It's crazy how recency bias, things change from one week to the next, and that's what people don't get, right? That's why when I'm like, oh, Kyler Murray looked good, and then the next week I'm like, dang, what the heck is wrong with Kyler Murray? Because it's weak. It changes weekly. It changes weekly. People don't understand the roller coaster of emotions and roller coaster ride of the NFL season, but that's what it is. You got 17 games, make it what you can, and potentially making a playoff push. That's what it is. Martin in the chat says even Petzing is not going to change the calls. They seem to be very, very, what's the word? Gung-ho pro what they're doing right now. That's a little concerning. It is. It's a little concerning. Now, I'm not going to make a full judgment until I see week 4. I think week 4 we'll get a better understanding as to are they actually going to do and continue to do what they're doing, or is it just lip service? Please keep in mind that they're also preparing for the Seattle Seahawks, so don't take anything they say to heart, right? Especially when they're preparing for another game. Don't take anything they say to heart because they can very well say that they love what they're doing and they're going to continue to do it, and they might change it up. They might change it up. You never know. They might change it up. Michael in the chat says Gannon hitched his wagon to Petzing, but put himself in that position. Yeah, I mean, well, Gannon, I've actually even talked about this last year. I talked about this last year, and it might have been in the offseason. Gannon also kind of hitched himself to Kyler. Gannon also kind of hitched himself to Kyler as well. Now, last year the conversation was, is it fair for Gannon to kind of get the axe, right? Get fired if year 3 doesn't work out. And a lot of people said, no, it's not. It's not fair, right? A lot of comments were saying, no, it's not fair. He deserves at least one more chance. I like what he's doing. I like the culture that he brought in. A little bit of a goofy dude, but it seems like it's working, right? That's what people were saying. Not a lot of them. There's some people saying, yeah, you should fire him if it doesn't work out. So, there was a little bit of each. But now it almost kind of seemed like the pendulum switched after he made the coming to the aid of Drew Petzing. I mean, just like I said about Monty Austin before, he kind of he made his bed. Now he's got to unfortunately have to lay in it. JT56, what's up, man? To be honest with y'all, just from box score watching, y'all don't really got a playoff roster in my opinion, but y'all been scrapping some wins. I hated Gannon in Philly, though. So I understand. So you don't like Gannon in Philly. I mean, here's the thing, right? Like the way you could see week 3 for the Cardinals, you can look at it in multiple different directions. You can look at it as the Arizona Cardinals offense failed as a whole. You can look at this as, Drew Petzing wasn't creative. You can look at this as, we were 3 catches away or 3 drop balls away from actually scoring a touchdown and scoring more points than the San Francisco 49ers. But let's believe it or not, this defense that we have right now is a really good defense. It's a really good defense. It really is. They've held every single team that we played to 20 points. And I get it. You're going to be, it's the Saints. It's the Panthers. It's the 49ers with Mac Jones, right? I already hear the comments already in the playbacks, right? I already hear it. But any given Sunday, you still got to stop them at the end of the day. There's still people with a paycheck. There's still people that are trying to execute their game plan. This defense is pretty darn legit. It's just now the offense needs to kind of catch up and start waking up. We're going into week 4. It's the first quarter, essentially, right? Or I guess now technically, the first quarter. The first quarter of the season. That's how Jonathan Gannon ended up breaking it down last year. He hasn't used that term anymore. Maybe it changes because obviously year 3 is more expectations. So, but I haven't heard him talk about, I break the season up until 4 quarters, right? How are we going to look, right? Are we going to bounce back in the second quarter or different rounds? Well, now I haven't heard him say a damn thing about quarters anymore or rounds. I think he knows now that he's got to win this year. He's got to win it. Yeah, Joshua is. I love Joshua. Let's keep reading the comments. You guys are amazing. We got Chris F in the chat. What's up, Chris? He says the NFL is a job that you have to update your resume every week. JC, so James Conner's offense. Are you talking about Jonathan Gannon, JG's offense? Better show up and show out. Cool office seat. Yeah, I mean, 100%. 100%. 100%. I agree. It's different when you're in year 3, right? As opposed to when we're projecting it. When we're talking about last year, people were happy that the Cardinals won 8 games. I wasn't. I wasn't happy the way we ended our season. You ended the season at 2-5, but that's just me, right? But a lot of the same issues that I had last year is coming back to fruition. It's coming back to bite us in the butt. It's not like you're in week 1. It's not like you're in week 2. It's not like we were in week 3, but like how are you not getting this offense down to the level that you guys need to get it to? Run game hasn't been great. I'll give you that. That's true. Run game has not been great. But we'll see. We'll see how yeah, I figured you meant you're good, man. You're good. Yeah, JC, I was like, James Conner's offense? No, you meant Jonathan Gannon. No, I got you, man. You're good. I figured you meant Jonathan Gannon. DJ, what's up, DJ? Gannon saying Petzing called a good game versus San Fran is laughable. I agree. That's the one that kind of got me a little riled up. That's the one that got me like, oh, bro, you got to be kidding me. Like when I woke up the day after his post game, after the game, I was like, I wasn't happy, but I woke up and I was like, okay, he's trying to back his guy. And then he doubled down. I was like, okay, he's trying to back his guy. But then he came out and said he played called one of his best games. It's laughable. It really is. You played a RB dive or a RB slam to a boxed 7-man front, 8-man front where they were favoring the side that they knew you were going to be running to. It's like, bro, like, come on. Don't disrespect, man. Come on. Let's not act like that. Megan, what's up, Megan? Appreciate you. Big time watcher of the NFC West Roundtable. What's up? Appreciate you for being here. Says, hey, Mike, just about to leave for Sydney. Let's go Seahawks. Awesome. Well, good luck to you. Safe travels. Hopefully the Cardinals win, but I appreciate you for stopping by. Thank you so very much, Megan. If you guys do not know, every single Tuesday, 6 p.m. Eastern time. No, not Eastern time. Pacific Standard Time, 6 p.m. We do go live on the NFC West Roundtable, which is an amazing show. You get a dosage of every single team in the NFC West from content creators like myself that do it at a very, very high level. Make sure you check out the NFC West Roundtable just by searching NFC West Roundtable on the search bar below. We need more Cardinal fans in the chat. I'm just going to say that. We don't have a lot of Cardinal fans. We always have a total of like 9 to 13%, and it's kind of sad, but I guess that's our fan base. Let's keep it going. Cole, what's up, Cole? Can I just see Xavier Weaver get a Jeps? Yeah, I mean, hell yeah. I'm down with that too. I'm down with that too, Cole. 100%. You know, I hyped up Weaver myself. And unfortunately, he just not have been given the opportunity as much. He had one game when Marvin Harrison Jr. went down, and of course, he really didn't look that great. But, like, you got to keep giving the man the opportunity, man. You got to keep giving the man an opportunity. I would love to see Weaver. Like, actually, my question is to you guys right now, right? Here's my question. Here's my question to you. Who do you want to see in the place of Zay? If you guys don't know, Zay Jones has already been rolled out by Jonathan Gannon earlier this morning. But who do you guys want to take the place of Zay Jones? Greg Dortch? Simi Fehoko? Xavier Weaver? Who do you want that guy to be? Because these players, they need to understand. These players need to understand that there's a big hole at that wide receiver number 3 position. And it can be theirs for the taking if they just produce and take care of their opportunities or take advantage of their opportunities. This is a big opportunity for any of these guys to step up. Simi Fehoko being one of them. Xavier Weaver being another one. Greg Dortch has given a lot of opportunity. Unfortunately, he didn't win it in training camp. So my question to you is, who do you want to be that number 3 guy? Or do you think we're going to see a split share between Dortch and maybe the other two? DJ in the chat says Simi. Freddie in the chat says Simi. Simi for sure. Weaver. We got a couple Weavers. We got a few Simmies. Weaver, but I really like Simi. Yeah, I mean, Simi Fehoko has looked really good in preseason. He seems to have dependable hands, which we've been struggling with being able to catch a damn ball. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a mix between me as well. I think Simi Fehoko or Xavier Weaver, it would be my ideal. What I feel like is going to happen is probably going to be Greg Dortch or maybe a split share between Greg Dortch and one of those other two guys. That's what I feel like is going to happen. I hope I'm wrong. Said in the chat says, we need a trace for Chase. Woo! My guy over here is coming up with he's saying we gotta go out here and go after Jamar Chase or T. Higgins. Wow. Well, with Joe Burrow out, that Bengals team does not look good. I'm sorry if you drafted Jamar Chase first overall, but that team does not look good at all. They might be in a selling mode. Last we heard is that Joe Burrow probably most likely is done for the season. Of course, they wanted to leave a little gray area, potentially, opening it up for maybe he might come back, but I think he's done. The way they described it, it's a really bad turf toe is what he ended up getting. So, yeah, man, it's a interesting situation. Interesting situation to see what happens here with with Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Because somebody also asked me, do you still want Trey Hendrickson? Somebody asked me. I was like, hey, man, I'll be cool with getting Trey Hendrickson. I mean, it's a rental at the end of the day. But, we also got to give some love on over to Browning. Browning's been pretty solid for us. Birch, when given the opportunity, has been pretty solid. I wouldn't call him. I don't want to call any of them closers like I would call Josh Sweat and maybe Calais Campbell. Hendrickson is a closer, right? But no, I mean they're solid pieces. But yeah, I'm curious to figure out what's gonna happen with the Bengals. Robert, Mike, will Bam be the over Amari DeMarcado? You hear that? You hear that? I'm not saying DeMarcado anymore. I'm saying DeMarcado. I kind of like Amari DeMarcado better. It looks like it flows a lot better out, but it's Amari DeMarcado. Ooh, I would like that. I mean, somebody actually asked me, should the Arizona Cardinals go after Breece Hall from the Jets? Because the Jets, of course, the Jets are the Jets, man. Like, let's be real. Now, of course, the Jets could easily say the same thing for us too, right? The Cardinals are the Cardinals, right? But right now we're 2-1. So let's bask in the glory that we're 2-1. Hopefully we advance to 3-0. Or sorry, 3-1 on Thursday night. It's gonna be tough. But we'll see. Let's keep it with the chat here. I thought Will Hernandez was good in New York. For a hold, I liked, but I don't know about the other two spots. You're talking about the O-line? The O-line is solid. It was better last year when it came down to the bread and butter and what we used to be able to do, which is run the ball. They kind of got not that great. Will Hernandez is supposed to be coming back. He avoided IR, but we were hoping that he was going to come in. We were hoping that he was going to be coming in. We're already going to week 4, and he avoided IR. If he's not going to be ready, you might as well have put him on IR, right? And kind of not get that roster spot. But Cardinals decided to keep him off, and it would make sense for him to come back, but it just obviously depends on when he's going to be ready and available to go. Paris Johnson is solid. Unfortunately, he didn't play last week. The right side is very suspect. Isaiah Adams, I don't want to give too much crap to because this is his first year of being a starter, so I don't want to give him too much crap on it, but there's that. Jash says, I'm really nervous about the Seahawks, D. They do. They have a very good defense. Very, very good defense. What happened to the rap in preseason? Fehoko or some like that? He was good. Gabriel in the chat. Oh, wide receiver. Oh, what happened to the wide? Yeah, I mean, he's elevated now. I'm not sure if you know that, but because we've been dealing with a lot of injuries, Simi Fehoko is now on the roster, on the active roster. He was on the practice squad. But now he's on the active roster. And now that Zay Jones is out for this game, let's see what happens. I'm still waiting to see the final injury report for the Arizona Cardinals because we have some pretty big names on there that we're all kind of excited to see if they're going to go, if they're not. Will Johnson being one of them, Paris Johnson Jr. being the next. So, yeah, still waiting. What's up, Chan? He says, am I crazy or do the Cardinals keep star wide receivers kind of quiet when they go against them? I mean, we did pretty solid against Olave. I think Tedero McMillan was actually pretty good. I think he had a pretty good game against us. Ricky Pearsall burned the crap out of us with over 100 yards. So maybe crazy. Maybe a bit. Also, keep in mind too, we didn't have a lot of our starting cornerbacks in week 3 as well. So, Darren Hall he's already elevated. Man, y'all got to be tuning into the videos, my guys. Y'all got to be tuning into the videos. All my update videos. I'm telling you on there. All my community posts as well. Yeah, man, come on, y'all. Yeah, Darren Hall is also elevated as well. Shame. Yeah, Darren Hall is on this roster. Darren Hall is on the 53, and so is Simi Fehoko. Guys, come on, y'all. Come on. Yeah, McMillan Toriad. Flying solo. The Cards should lower their penalties and be a bit better for Clark management. That's fair. Let's keep it going. Chat. X factors for this game versus the Seahawks. For us, X factors for us. I mean, the usual suspects. But I'll probably throw in Trey Benson in there. I'll probably throw in Trey. The Seahawks lost once versus the 49ers as well. I want to see Josh Sweat more than outside the first quarter. I want to see Josh Sweat more. I don't know why he's only there at the first quarter and it kind of goes away. I don't understand it. But yeah, I want to see some Josh Sweat, some Calais Campbell on the defensive side of the ball. And then on the offensive side of the ball, Kyler. Sorry about that. And then Benson. All right, let's take a couple more comments here. We're about to hit the hour mark. We will probably most likely be getting the injury report for the game tomorrow. Another reminder for the guys that come onto the live play-by-plays. We will not be doing a live play-by-play tomorrow. I will be at the game, so we will not be doing a live play-by-play tomorrow. So just FYI, we're going to pick it back up next week in week 5. So no play-by-play this weekend. I will be at the game. Next week, we're going to go right back into the live play-by-plays. So in case you jump on the channel and be like, oh, man, this guy's so inconsistent. I'm not doing it because I'm going to the game. I will be having a post-game reaction after, probably at the stadium. Don't really know how it's going to shake out, but yeah, I'm going to be doing that. And I'll give you my thoughts of Cardinals versus Seahawks. I'm sorry. I had a really bad sleep last night. So, yeah. So let's do this. Let's close up shop right here. Another shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Sleeper. Make sure you go ahead and check out Sleeper using promo code AZSF to provide you with a 100% deposit match, $100 deposit match up to, let's rephrase that. 100% deposit match up to $100 on your first initial deposit. Make sure you check out Sleeper. Everything will be in the description below of this video. But ladies and gentlemen, I will be releasing a video later on today, hopefully giving you some updates on Paris, Will, and if there's any other players on the Seahawks side that we are not going to be seeing moving forward. So make sure you have your post notification bell on. Make sure you click on the video so we're not asking if Darren Hall is going to be. Yeah, Darren Hall is a part of the team, and so is Simi Fehoko. I keep you guys updated with every little move that happens for the Arizona Cardinals. Appreciate you guys for being here up and foremost. You're all amazing. Have a great rest of your day, and as always, go Cardinals.